Think we're good? Everything's good? Turn that mic gain up a little bit. There we go. All right. All right, guys. I'm here. I'm fashionably late as always. But, yeah, I'm here. Interesting. Okay. I'm getting some sort of error from my YouTube streaming software. What's up, Andy? How you doing, man? It says that it's not receiving enough video. So I don't know what that's all about. Uh, Everything should be working fine. Everything looks fine on my end. Does it look super choppy to you guys? Let me know. I can always restart this bad boy. I'm, as somebody put it, belligerently late, as always. I don't think I've ever started a stream on time. But, yeah, that's just me. I'm always a little bit optimistic about the amount of time that I have in order to get things done. So, it is what it is, right? Sorry to make you guys wait if anybody was waiting. Everything looks good? Okay, cool. Cool. If the video's not choppy, yeah. I need to make more videos. What? 3 or 4 a week isn't enough, huh? It was up until I started doing 3 a week, it was, you're making too many videos, so. All right, video looks good. What's up, Paul? What in the world is up? Jay Plant, what's up, buddy? Robbie, what's up? Everything looks good, everybody says. So, okay. Stream looks fine. Awesome. Awesome. All right, so UPS is throwing a little bit of a wrench in the works for me today, guys. And if I look all sweaty, it's because I am. I was just rushing around to get all the amps in the same room. But I was also waiting on UPS to drop a couple of boxes, and it said that they were supposed to be here by 2 p.m., which is why I put the stream for 2:30. And guess what? Still not here. So we don't have 2 of the boxes. I'm going to stream until about 3:30 because I have some plans shortly after 3:30. Going to go ride the bike and check out some new trails with a friend. But until then, we're going to stream. I've got 4 amps and 4 pedals here. And possibly 2 more amps coming from UPS. We'll see. We'll see if UPS decides to deliver my stuff or not today. And then after that, yeah, that's I got 2 more amps that I have purchased but have not received yet. So I'm just going to pull those up on my iPad or something to show you guys. That way I'm not just talking about them. But yeah, we've got, I believe that makes what? 8 amps in total? 8 amps and 4 pedals? So we got a lot to go over. I mean, I think my last stream, I had something ridiculous like 16 new amps or something like that. Probably will never be able to replicate that again, but I did get a substantial amount of new stuff in the 2 weeks that has passed since that stream. So everybody's saying what's up. Who else we got in here? Barry Gomez. Thanks, Barry. Ryan Wilson, Amp Master. I'll take that. Definitely not a guitar master because I can barely play, but we got some, okay. Andy says, yay pedals. What do I got today? Roland Garcia. What's up, Roland? How's it going, man? All right, so I guess we should just go ahead and dive into the first amp then, shouldn't we? Which one should I grab first? I think I know which one. Give me a second. Also, before I reveal the first amp, please hit the like button if you guys are hanging out. I would really appreciate it. That way YouTube puts us in front of more people. We get more people in the live stream. Ugh. Number 1. What's up, Jimmy? We've got the Randall RD45H. This is the Randall Diavolo. And you guys may be asking, didn't you already put that on your channel? Yes, I did. This was one of the very first amps that I ever demoed, and I would kind of like to have another shot at it. Number 1, because my first one was cell phone video. We did have a proper interface and microphones and everything, but the first demo that I did for this amp was cell phone video. I was awkward on camera. I mean, even more awkward than I am now, if you guys can believe that. And I also was miking it with 2 different mics as opposed to just an SM57. So I would kind of like to have maybe another stab at this amplifier kind of doing it the way that I do things now. And I also would kind of, I'm torn. I kind of want to do a revisited video, which I think I have discussed the revisited series that I have in my head with you guys. But I have a revisited series planned in my head where I go back, check out some of the amps that I have already demoed on the channel, but instead of doing them with the, Duncan Distortion SH6 Balaguer and the Mesa V30 loaded cab, I kind of make an effort to put them through something that accentuates the qualities of the amp a little bit more, because one of the common comments, I guess you could say, that I get on my channels and that I get on my videos is that you have to try things with different speakers, different cabinets in order to get the best out of them. And I could not agree with that more. And as I have stated to you guys many times, the reason that I do things the way that I do is because I kind of want the amp to be the only thing changing in the signal chain as far as, major components, because I want the amp to be what you're hearing if you go from video to video to video. Especially recently, you'll notice that I'm always using the same guitar. I am always using the same speaker cabinet. I have the same mic on the same speaker in the same spot for every video demo. I've caught some flack from that from some people, but I think that the people who use the smart part of their brains understand what I'm doing. It's that I am trying to show you the differences in the amp and not the differences in all the different rigs that I own. So most people that I have talked to are playing on some sort of vintage 30 loaded cabinet. They're playing with some sort of high output pickup. Now the SH6 for me is kind of a nice in between of an active and a passive, because even though it's an active, it is a very tight pickup. It's very mid forward. And I think that the SH6 kind of comes closer to a lot of active pickups than most other passives would. And it's a pickup that I like, so it makes it easier for me to demo things when I'm playing a pickup that I like. But at the same time, it kind of, is a good in-between of an EMG and a Fishman versus, JB even, or a lower output passive, which I tend to kind of gravitate towards for my own playing style. So those are the reasons that I do what I do. So for the revisited series, what I kind of want to do is find a guitar and a speaker cabinet that really kind of complements each individual amp, as opposed to just playing them on the standard vintage 30s. So that's what I have in mind for that. We got some new people in the chat. Okay, cool. Terror Show went well, Robbie. Terror Show went really, really well, actually. I believe it was sold out in Cleveland. My band, if you guys aren't familiar, Human Animal, played with Terror in Cleveland a few days ago, actually. It was Monday. It was on Labor Day. And the show was awesome, man. We had a ton of people at the show. Got a really great response. We had a great set, so couldn't have asked for a better opportunity to play a big show. So thanks to Scott and Tara for putting us on that, because they were actually the ones that put us on the show. So that was pretty cool. Sweet amp, yeah. I'm not a huge fan of this amp, to be completely honest with you guys, but like I said, we're gonna try and give it another shot. Love that you're revisiting these amps. Thanks, Alan. Yeah, I figured that some of you guys might like that I'd go back and try some amps that I've already done before, especially amps like the Randall RD45H, the Diavolo, that I didn't really like. I didn't really like this amp all that much in my first demo, and just in regular playing, it wasn't my favorite, but I want to try and find a cabinet and a speaker and a pickup that accentuates this amp, or the qualities of this amp, a little bit better than my first demo. So, Michael, what's up, man? How's it going? See your comments on pretty much every video since you started watching the channel, so I really appreciate you. This Stinky Steve, what's up, man? How's it going? Also, we got 63 people in the chat. Glad to see you guys are hanging out. Hope that you are in store for a good weekend. I know that I am kind of looking forward to taking a little break because I've been busting my butt this weekend. I created a whole new, 2 new sets of Kemper profiles, so I'm going to be kind of putting up some advertising for those here soon. And so if you guys are in the Kemper realm, I've got a Marshall JCM 900 SLX, a full set of profiles for those, which I think came out really good. And I've also got the Marshall JVM 410 Joe Satriani version. Both sets of profiles include multiple different boosts. They're all direct input profiles, so you guys can add whatever cabinet and whatever external boost that you want to those on your Kemper. So hopefully that's something that you guys are into. But that's what I've been working on the last couple of days. Have I demoed the 33 boost pedal from Fortin? I haven't demoed it specifically. I had one for quite a while and I got rid of it. Most of the Fortin boosts aren't really my thing. The modded TS9 and TS808s that they recently did are awesome, but I don't really get into the Fortin stuff all that much, but that doesn't mean that I'm not going to demo it. I will for sure. There are certain boosts that have been on the market for a while that you guys have asked me to do individual demos of, and the Fortin 33 is one of them. Another one of them is the Dirty Tree. A lot of people have asked me for the Dirty Tree, and a lot of people have asked me for the Horizon Precision Drive. The Precision Drive. And the Precision Drive, I own. I have one of those now. The Dirty Tree, I have one of those, and actually, Tony sent me one. Sorry, blanked on the name. Tony sent me one of those pedals probably about a year ago at this point, so I'm way overdue for a demo on that. I got a lot of stuff that I still need to catch up on, but I'm finally getting there. But yeah, if you guys really want to see me demo certain things, even if there's something that's been out on the market for a while, you just want to see me do a demo in the style that I do things, then, you know, let me know. Put them in the comments of the videos because I'm always open, and if you guys repeatedly ask for something, I will absolutely demo it. Your first amp was a Teal Stripe Rage 158. Dude, I have a video on the Rage 158, so you must have missed it. There were some issues with it, unfortunately, and I actually have it. Mike Wagner at Wagner Amp Repair repaired it for me, and we are going to actually do something fun. I think I'm going to actually take the preamp out of that and stick it into like a 100-watt tube power section and see what kind of tones we can get out of that just for fun. Okay, Alan says, I prefer how you do it with a V30 in each video so that they can be compared. Exactly, man, you get it. That is the reason why I do things the way that I do. Roland says, I've always been a fan of you doing the same cab, pickup, etc., but I do like the idea of different cabs and that help the sound. Yeah, man, exactly. I mean, I'm not opposed to that whatsoever. Like, I hear those comments and I know exactly why people ask for that stuff. And I want to give you guys what you want. I want to give the audience what they request. And, you know, my demo style has become a very specific, very formulaic thing for a reason. There is a reason that I do it, which I've already explained. But I absolutely would like to go back and check these amps out and really just try to get the best out of them. And I will, you know, I'll listen to your guys' suggestions on what cabs you think go best with what amps and stuff. Before I demo any of these, I'll go back to the original video that I put out and see what the consensus is on them. Just to, you know, again, I'm just trying to get the best out of everything and get you guys what you want to see. 69 Larder says, hey, Kyle from Canada. Hey from Canada, Kyle. I read that backwards. Sorry. Hey, man, Canada. That's awesome. Glad to have you here, man. Rebuilding 2 pedal boards this weekend. Andy, you actually touched on something that I am going to do here for the channel shortly. Number one, I'm going to do a pedal board rig demo, which is the whole rig is going to be contained on the pedal board. My friend Cody at Westminster Effects sent me, not only did he send me a couple of preamp / distortion pedals, but he sent me some effects pedals too, which you guys know that I don't really do much with effects pedals, but I figured it would be fun to kind of create a whole pedal board rig out of the stuff that he sent me and show you guys, you know, from front to back how to create an amp on a pedal board. Essentially, we'll have the Seymour Duncan power stage. That's the common power section that I use, and we'll have a couple of different preamps on there in order to kind of create an amp that fits in a pedal board bag. And we'll even throw an EQ pedal on the board. We'll throw a couple of effects, and we'll not only will we check it out, we'll hear some sound demos of it, but I'll actually take it to band practice, use it in a band, and show you how useful it can actually be. So that's something I'm really looking forward to. And number two is I want to show you guys maybe not necessarily you, but a lot of people have asked me, can I make a video basically like putting a metal rig together for beginners front to back? And I think that that would be a really fun video for me to throw together, kind of explain each piece of the rig and why you need it, why it's beneficial. So I've been asked to do that one many times, and I think that we could use some of these new pedals that I've gotten in order to do that as well. So couple of fun ideas I had. I hope you guys are into them. If not, okay, just let me know. And if you think it's something that you're not going to be into or it's not going to be beneficial, just let me know. Stinky Steve says, would be cool looking for... Okay, cool. Michael says, I heard the new PV amps will start shipping soon. Per talking to my Sweetwater engineer, tubes are getting available again. I hope that's the case, man. I really do. I know PV was aiming for July. Obviously, we're a couple months past July, so hopefully soon. I know that they're anxious to get these new amps out the door, especially because a lot of hype was generated for them around Christmas time and even around late summer when, they kind of got leaked to me, which was pretty cool to not only be able to leak the shit or to leak that information, but to also get the demo, the 65052 for you guys. That was a pretty cool opportunity for me, but I'm very anxiously looking forward to those new amps. Andy says, Kyle, do you have a pedal board for each band or just a boost and drive? So my pedal boards are simple, guys. I'm a simple guy. I'm a simple kind of man. That was a terrible joke, but for real, like, you guys know that I like things simple. I don't really use effects. I definitely don't use any sort of convoluted or complex pedal boards or anything. Like, I play punk and hardcore and metal and very basic forms of those at that. So that's just, my play style. That's what I'm into. That's what I'm capable of. So really all I do is I change out the individual boost for whatever amp that I'm using. It's not even the band. It's like what boost goes best with the amp that I am using. And I just kind of switch it out regardless of the band, depending on what rig that I am playing, something that's going to fit that rig the best. So, Sheldon says, what amp rigs does Terror run, by the way? So Terror, as long as I can remember, every time I see them, they're using 6505 pluses, and they both use LTD guitars. I'm pretty sure Jordan plays an EC1000 variant, and then Martin or Martin, I believe it's Martin, I don't know. I know what he looks like. I've never talked to those guys before, so other than when I put Jordan's head on the ground because it was sitting on top of the cab that I was supposed to use, and he was kind of not happy about that. So sorry, dude. I had to get it out of my way, though. My cables weren't long enough to reach. But yeah, both use 6505s. They both use LTD guitars with EMGs, and they sound great. I mean, they sound like the hardcore rig that you would imagine most bands using. So that's what they use. It's nothing exciting. Karma is on tour with Terror this time around, and Karma had a couple of really cool custom Emperor cabs. And even though they had Eminence speakers in them, I could tell as soon as I plugged my amp in that they were Eminence just by the way that they sounded. They were still a really cool looking cab. They were brand new, and they were letting everybody use their cabs, which that's beyond me. But yeah, Terror was just using Karma's Emperor cabs. So Andy says, cool video idea. James Urban said, would love to hear just a touch more classic rock riffs. Helps to differentiate the variety of tones from each amp. Yeah, I'm trying to do that, and I need to learn some more riffs. That's the issue. I'm very stagnant, especially because all summer I didn't play at all. So I definitely need to just kind of learn some more riffs, and I have an idea of how to do that very soon here. I feel like this light is overbearing. Let's turn that down a little bit. But yeah, anyways, I definitely would like to do that and just be able to show a little bit more variety from each amp. I think that's one area where my demos have been lacking lately. I don't know why, but I've been trying to keep them short, but for some reason when I'm recording them, they all seem to go 35 minutes or longer lately. So I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I need to nail down my formula a little better so they're not so long-winded. Um, what's my favorite solid state Randall head? The RX120H, and that's really the only one I like. Not really a big fan of Randall anything, to be completely honest, but I do really like that amp. Making a metal rig sounds like a sick video. Awesome. Stephen Kenny says, I find the EMG 81 in my Schecter Hellraiser and Drop B is quite muddy. Would I recommend another pickup? In my experience, the Fishman modern pickups are very bright and very clear, especially when you tune down. So I noticed that the 81 TWs in those Schecter Hellraisers are darker and fatter than a standard EMG. Not by a ton, but they definitely are. So if you were to replace those with the Fishman Moderns, I think that you would get what you're looking for out of it. So give that a try, man. I actually just purchased a set of Fishman Moderns for a Jackson Randy Rhoads Silverburst V that I have that's been hanging on my wall unplayed for like a year. I was super excited to get that guitar, and I haven't touched it because it has EMGs in it. I just don't like EMGs, so finally decided to swap the pickups in that. It would be cool to see different type rig builds for someone who has to move around than for someone who is living in the same spot but has to do a few gigs once in a while. I don't really know how to go about that, man. If you can elaborate a little bit more, I guess I'm not really exactly sure on what you're saying. Open Mat Podcast says, do you use a noise gate? Absolutely, and you should too. It doesn't matter how quiet your high gain amp is. Noise gates just tighten everything up. It's one of those things where if you're playing high gain, it catches little string noises, it catches little things here and there, especially when your band does a full-on stop. Like if you stop and you grab your strings in order to stop and there's a little or something like that, if you grab the strings just too hard, most noise gates are going to actually cut that. It's going to make your band stop cleaner. It's going to eliminate some of the hiss from the front end of the amp, and I think everybody should use a noise gate if they're playing any sort of high gain metal or whatever, because I get a lot of comments on my videos where like, this amp needs a noise gate. And it's like, duh, it's you're playing high gain, especially with an overdrive, man. Like, you should use a noise gate. I think that's pretty much a given. Maybe that's just my take on things, but I don't understand why anybody would be against using noise gates unless they don't know how to dial them. But otherwise, I think that it's a really good idea. Noise gate in front, Maxon OD808 and EQ in the loop. Yeah, I mean, that's a pretty standard setup for most high gain and metal guitar amps is that, just those are all very usable tools that you don't necessarily even have to have on, but I think that you should. I think that you should have them just in case. They're nice to change things up if you need to. Preston Bowden says, any idea how a preamp style distortion like the Rev G3 would sound into the front of a amp's clean channel? I always see reviews where it's in the effects loop and I don't have an effects loop. It would sound just fine, man. And actually, I think the Rev G3 benefits from going into a clean channel because the treble on that pedal doesn't come on until very late in the sweep, I've noticed. So when you go into the clean channel of an amp versus going into the preamp, if it's a preamp pedal, typically they have more treble in the preamp pedal circuit because most power amps that you're going into aren't going to have any sort of treble boost. They're going to be fairly, kind of round on the top end, and then you're going to use the EQ of the amp in order to add that treble. Well, if you have a distortion pedal that doesn't have a lot of treble because it's designed to go into the front end of a clean channel, then you're not going to have enough treble to go into the effects return, where it's not going to have that, enhanced high end or the ability to turn the high end up via a treble control. So yes, I think the G3 would work excellent in going into a clean channel. Is it more common now for bands to share cabs? When I used to gig every band, having a 4x12 was a lot of work setting up. It's kind of always been the same. Bands, especially at smaller gigs, have always shared cabs from what I can remember. Whether they want to or not, a lot of touring bands will ask literally right after, you're done playing if they can use your cab, which I think is funny. Like, why wouldn't you ask that ahead of time? Or why wouldn't you have whoever's booking your tour ask that ahead of time? But that's just me. I hated, there have been times when I went on my first European tour, we were in Europe for 2 months straight, and I did not have an amp or a cab. And every night I had to ask because the person who booked the tour did not set us up with gear and did not mention to the promoters that we would need gear. So I had to ask local bands for every single show to use their stuff. And there were some people who said no to me. And then I really had to scramble and figure out what I was going to do. And it just created a lot of uncomfortable situations. So yeah, sharing gear at hardcore shows, still a very common thing. Probably always will be. Wanter says, more plugin stuff soon? Yes, I actually have a couple of plugin videos coming for you, man. Where do I run my noise gate and my chain? I run it first thing. So, or second technically. I run my tuner, then my noise gate. No, that's not right. I run it last in the chain, sorry. So I run it after everything, after the overdrive, because after the overdrive, it cuts the hiss that the overdrive creates when you turn it on, keeps things quieter when you are fully stopped. Most portable rig, medium portable rig. I suppose I could do something like that. It's not really in my wheelhouse because I just use a 100-watt tube head and a 4x12 cab for everything I do. I always have. I don't mind lifting and moving stuff because, you know, it's like exercise and it's good for your body in order to lift things, as long as you're lifting them correctly. If, you know, I see a lot of people try to lift 4x12 cabs by using only their back, and that's a horrible idea. But, you know, you can ask my bandmates, you can even ask Fluff, because I helped Drag Dunder carry their stuff out. I just like moving gear because I like exercise. I like being in motion all the time, and it doesn't bother me to move heavy stuff around, so I've never really looked into the portable rig thing. But I could. I suppose I could. You know, there's no reason not to. I guess that whole pedal board idea could go along with the portable rig thing, so maybe it is something that I should look into. I have this issue where I kind of tend to, you know, not think outside of what I typically would like to do in certain situations, and I think I could get better at that, and the channel would benefit from that. So you know what, you've got a good point. Sheldon says, have you watched the Cola Keller video with Nolly about V30s? Yes, I have, and Nolly is extremely knowledgeable. It's so weird, man. When you're talking about things, there's like, especially that's a lot of just word of mouth, heard from a specific source type thing. And not that I'm discrediting Nolly at all, but I've heard from other people, specifically from people who design speakers, that not all that information is correct. And it's kind of gotten to the point where I just judge every individual speaker on an individual basis because, you know, for as much as everybody likes to think that they know everything there is to know about vintage 30s, it seems like that is never the case. Seems like there's conflicting stories coming from people who have worked at Celestion, coming from people who have designed speakers. It's really tough. It's really tough to differentiate what is factual and what is not, unless there is some sort of actual written something out there. And again, I'm not discrediting Nolly. I'm just saying that I've heard conflicting things from multiple sources who claim to have, you know, spoken to people at Celestion or worked at Celestion. I've actually talked to a lot of people about speakers because they're one of the things that I'm most interested in personally. And it just seems like all the information kind of conflicts with each other in one way or another. So it is what it is. I know that Mesa V30s are darker and rounder, and I know that most other V30s, especially 16 ohm V30s, are brighter and a little bit scoopier, and the cab makes a big difference, and that's about it. So, a noise gate is something you don't realize you need until you're playing a small room with your amp cranked and you're trying to have a stealthy start to a song. Yep, that's 100%, man, 100%. ISP decimator is a standard for any hardcore metal rig. I agree with that, although I think there are now much better options on the market. But yes, the ISP decimator is a tried and true pedal. RM, did you ever purchase a Generator 120? Trying to decide between that and the Angle Savage or Powerball. Right there. Right there. The one that I demoed, that Rev sent me, is still here. So, yeah, I have a Rev Generator 120 Mark III. Do you guys want to see more content with that? Because that was a really hot item when I got it, and then people have not really asked me much about it since then. So, if you guys want to see more rev generator content, I would like to make it. It would give me an excuse to put it back into commission, because it's literally been sitting in that pile for months and months. And it's not because I don't like it. It's just I keep getting new amps in that I need to try for the channel or try for myself. And it turns out that, that can be a negative at times. If you guys can believe it, having too many amps can absolutely be a negative, because I don't get to spend enough time with a lot of them. So it really, it's a blessing and a curse. It's a first world problem, 100%. And don't think that I am complaining, because I am not. Just saying, there are pros and cons to having too many amps or having a lot of amps, and not getting to cycle through them enough is definitely one of them. So, but if you probably can't see, but that amp is the amp that inspired me to go with this Black and Tuna Tolex on my KSR custom cab here. And actually, any cab that I have custom Tolexed, or any amp that I have custom made in the future, I'm going to use this Tolex on it. And basically, like, I kind of want to have that be my signature thing. When you see new amps, if I have anything custom built or custom made for me, it's going to have this Black and Tuna Tolex on it, because I really like the way it looks. It looks classy, and it looks just different enough to stand out from all black, like the Black Taurus thing. It still looks mean, and it's a little bit unique. You know what I mean? So, yeah, where did I get lost? I tend to go on rants. Luca Moki says, I'd love to see you review a Quilter Overdrive 202 or Tone Block 202, both as amps or power amps. I would love to, man. I would love to check out some of the Quilter stuff. I believe there's an Orange Pedal Baby too that gets a lot of high marks from people as a pedal size power amp. So I'd love to check out all that stuff. But the Quilter stuff has been on my radar for quite a while. Yeah, Andy, I don't go to the gym. You are correct. I do not go to the gym whatsoever. I haven't gone to the gym in probably close to a year or worked out. It's something I need to fix. But yeah, moving amps definitely keeps you in shape better than you would think. What's up, Joey? How's it going, man? Andy loves his rev generator. That's good, man. Ricky Compton says, hey, what's up? Always down for more rev. Okay, lots of people are saying yes to the rev, so I'll come up with some more content for the rev soon. I personally just want an excuse to play it again. Pewter Trout Tolex on the rev is the best. Yeah. Burnt tuna, pewter trout. I guess they're kind of, the pewter trout is a little lighter now that I'm looking at it. So this is actually a slightly different color, which is almost kind of a bummer because I wanted them to match. Know how reliable rev is with all those options and switching. I have heard of people having issues with their rev amps, but I mean, you could say that with every amp. I think the only amps that I've never heard of people having issues with are like PV5150s. Otherwise, yeah. But yeah, I get what you're saying. The more tech that you pack into stuff, the more that can go wrong. Mesas are kind of notorious for that. I've had a lot of Mesas that I've purchased with issues to fix them up and repair them, have Mike Wagner repair them for me so I can resell them in the future. So, and Mesas are pretty well known for being packed with features. But again, the more you pack into an amp, that's the more stuff that can malfunction. Istvan. Hey Kyle, what are your thoughts on your Carvin Legacy 412? I have one, it's a little bright, was thinking of putting in some lower ohm V30s, otherwise it seems well built. Yeah, I agree. Front loaded with a metal grate and 16 ohm vintage 30s just is bright, man. It's naturally, that's just the nature of the beast. Yes, you could put in some 8 ohm V30s and it would kind of round off the top a little bit, but I think the better move is to just put different speakers in it, honestly. And I think the H75 would be a little bit better of a speaker to go in a front-loaded metal grate cab because they're not so aggressive in those upper mids, especially if you went 8 ohm. I think that would be a good call, so maybe give that a thought. But yeah, that's a naturally bright setup. Am I thinking about getting an Arachnid cab? Yes, I am. Yeah, I've oh man, Rob Calhoun. I've talked to him a couple of times. Very briefly, we've never talked about getting a cab made for the channel or anything like that, but I'm definitely interested in checking his stuff out. I actually have a Vader sitting right next to me, and I know his stuff is heavily inspired by Vader, so it would definitely be cool to check out one of his cabinets. And I love cabs. You guys know I like cabs just as much as I like amps, and I also like supporting small builders, so that's something that I would be interested in the future. I just bought this KSR cab. I have an Omega custom cab, and I've spent a lot of money between the two of those cabs on top of everything else that I have, so I need to not buy another cab for a little while here. Got a weird comment with no username. Uh, get a 7 string. Trying. Um, Creamback redbacks, not loving it. I'm not loving the redbacks up top in this cab. I think I'm going to go all creambacks in here. And I think the redbacks are kind of a speaker that probably going to do better on its own because it is so smooth compared to the H75 that there's just kind of like an EQ discrepancy. Somebody said, your video is bad and you should feel bad. Unless, of course, your video is good, then carry on. Other guitarists in my band had an original 5150 that would randomly cut volume and tone mid-gig almost every time, even after like 3 trips to a repair tech. You should probably get a better tech. Joey Palmer says DV77. Yeah, DV77 is a nice neutral speaker. If you threw that in the Carvin Legacy cab, it's going to sound completely different, but it'll definitely be much smoother than 16-ohm V30s. Arachnid cabs are nice, for sure. They look great. Saw the Randall Thrasher 50 vid. I was wondering if it's going to make the sound difference if I swap 6L6 to EL34 tube. More power. No, you're not going to get any more power from EL34s than you're going to get from 6L6s. And the sound differences between swapping power tubes is going to be a lot less than a lot of people make it out to be. So with the cost of tubes right now, I wouldn't recommend doing it. I don't think that it's going to be worth the money to do it. I think you should spend that money on maybe a different cab that has different speakers than what you're currently using. Because that's going to make way more of a difference than swapping the power tubes will. Robert Schooner, ever considered offering reamping services for productions, especially with such a wide variety of amps? Yes, I have thought about doing that. I don't have a lot of experience with reamping, but it's something that I've definitely been interested in. Time management for me, I'm not very good at it. I need to stick to a tighter schedule and make sure that I'm doing the things that I say that I'm going to do when I start the day out. That's one thing that I am struggling with as a person. It is definitely a flaw of my personality. It's very easy to get me off track, but yeah. Anyways, just audio production in general is something I'm extremely interested in. I have mentioned on the channel before, I really want to write and record my own hardcore EP where I write and record every instrument, including vocals, because I have played every position in a hardcore band before, and that's something that I would think would be a really fun project. But also, just to up my audio recording skills, I've thought about just, maybe once every couple of weeks recording a full band cover by myself of, like, say, a Terror song and throwing it up on an alternate YouTube channel. Number one, because I like learning songs and I like playing covers, and it's something that I don't do on my channel or anything. Number two, I think that that would be a cool way to grow my audio production skills, and it would also be a really cool way to feature different gear in different videos that is a little bit different from what I do on my main channel. So if you guys are into that, let me know. I think that I'm actually going to start learning and recording the first song off Terror's Pain into Power next week, and I will do, a full demo or video cover of that, of me playing every spot in the band. But that's an easy song. It's a short song, and I thought it would be a fun way to segue into that. But you guys let me know if that's something that you're interested in. But yeah, that goes along with the reamping. I mean, I need to get better at audio production in general. I need to get more knowledgeable about that stuff before I start offering it as a service. That phrases his username. Gotcha. That's weird. Thoughts on upgrading speakers versus getting a better cab? it depends on the cab, man. I mean, there are cabs that are considered cheap that are built fine and you can upgrade the speakers, but one tip that I always give to everybody is buy cabs on the used market. Do research about cabs on the used market because there are some serious sleepers out there that can be had for next to nothing that sound incredible. The Crate Blue Voodoo cab with vintage 30s. It's one of my favorite cabs, period. And I got each of mine for like 150 bucks a piece. I have a full stack of those. Awesome cabs. I've got a full stack of some vintage Ampeg cabs that have really old G12 T75 speakers in them. Got those for 150 bucks a piece. I got a Ampeg SS412ER, I think that's what it is, that's got G12 65 speakers from the early 80s in it. That's how they came stock. The cabs from the early 80s. It's front loaded. It's all birch. I got that for free because I bought that I bought that cab with a Blue Voodoo, and I sold the Blue Voodoo for what I paid for the whole half stack. And there are numerous examples of that, but there are so many cool, great sounding sleeper cabs out there that, in my opinion, it never makes sense to buy new speakers for a cab when you can go out, unless you're looking for specific speakers. I mean, if you're looking to upgrade to something like vintage 30s, G12 T75s, greenbacks, or K100s or K85s, those are all kind of common speakers that you find in higher end cabs. Don't go out and buy those speakers new. Just look for a used cab that has them. Be patient, do a little research, and you will save yourself a lot of money on the used market. Otherwise, if you're looking for something like redbacks, if you're looking for something like H75 creambacks, those are much harder to come by. And in that case, if you want those speakers specifically, yeah, just buy them. I mean, not even many cabs come new loaded with those speakers, so it's always best to just buy them. I am getting way off track here, so hey, I see somebody saying Jesus Demon. Sorry, I'm losing track of the chat. Jesus Demons, I would love to try those soon. What are my feelings on the Kemper Rebecca Grigsby? It's cool. It's fun. Will I ever use it as like a main gigging thing? No. Will I use it as a recording tool? Yes. All of the profiles that I have made so far, I've got some really awesome sounding profiles in my opinion, not trying to sell you guys on my stuff that I am selling, but I think that it's a great studio tool, especially for somebody like me. If I get profiles of all my amps eventually, which will probably take years, but and I end up in a studio setting and I feel that those profiles are good enough to hang with the real amps, why not just have a Kemper sitting on my desk with my amps profiled the way that I like them versus having to dig out a tube amp from these massive stacks. I totally get the use case for it. Some amps profile better than others. The ones that profile well sound incredible. The ones that don't profile as well, some of them don't even work. I couldn't even get my Marshall JCM 900 to work with the precision drive that I was trying to run through it. So it's amp by amp basis, individual basis, but I think that there are a lot of good use cases for the Kemper. All right, so people are talking about the cover thing. So that's cool. Yeah, if you guys are into that, that's awesome. I would love to do something like that. Yeah, the Celestion 2x12, Joey, or the Egnator 2x12. I've been hunting for one of those. I missed out on one for 180 bucks and I'm kicking myself. I would love to have those Elite 80s, which are just relabeled Classic Elite 80s. And I've heard that those Egnator cabs are built really well too. So, all right, I missed a bunch of stuff in the chat. I apologize, guys. I'm hanging out, answering your questions, and I love that. But we've got more amps to check out. So let's get on to the second one. Randall RD45H. I'm going to make Kemper profiles. I'm going to make quad Cortex captures of this. So if you guys are in the market for either of those, my stuff is cheap. I'm going to charge 15 bucks for a set of profiles. And that'll get you like 16 different profiles, all direct stuff. But yeah, that's one of the reasons why I got this. And another reason is to do a revisited series for the amp. On to the next. So I know that this is going to get some funny comments. This is the Crate GX1200H. I watched a video where Arnold Plays Guitar demoed this amplifier probably about a year and a half ago, right around the time that I demoed a combo version of this amp. and he got it sounding really good in his video, and it just made me curious about it for a long time. Lo and behold, this was at my local shop for $65, so I bought it. So yeah, we've got the Crate GX 1200H. We're gonna record this through a good cab, and we're gonna see if we can get some good sounds out of this thing. And if we can, I'm gonna keep it because I only have $65 into it. So yeah, this is just kind of like an outlier weird amp that not a lot of people know a lot about. So I kind of wanted to pick it up. And also it's in good condition and demo it on the channel because like I said, Arnold plays guitar. If you guys follow his channel, he got really good tones out of this thing and just made me genuinely interested in the amp. So what's up, Caesar? I'm doing great, man. How are you doing? Somebody says we're an hour in and we're only on the second amp. Yeah, man, I got carried away answering your guys' comments, which I don't ever think is a bad thing. You know, these live streams are so I can interact with you guys and answer your guys' comments, but sometimes I tend to stay a little long on a single topic. So Roland says he has this one. Jesse says Arnold is a cool guy. I agree. I actually met Arnold at Summer NAMM last year, and he was one of the first people to come up to me and talk to me and greet me and everything. So I thought that was really cool because I'd never spoken to him online or anything, but he knew who I was and he was super friendly to me, and we ended up hanging out a little bit at Summer NAMM and having a good time. We actually, both of us, like did a couple of skits in Trey Xavier's reality versus, you know, what you expect at NAMM. So that was a lot of fun. And yeah, Arnold's a really cool guy. He's got a great channel, so check his stuff out. All right. Ricky Compton says he's digging the live shows. Awesome, man, dude. I love doing these live streams and just kind of hanging out with you guys and answering your questions. I have a lot of fun doing that. But some of the live streams that I was doing only had like 30 viewers prior to me kind of taking a long break from doing the live streams. So I just decided to stop for a bit because people seem to lose interest. But the last few that I've had anywhere between 90 and like 180 people on the live chat, which is awesome. We got 91 right now, which, guys, if you're hanging out, please hit the like button. I know it's that cringy common YouTuber thing, but it really does help. That's why we ask that. It basically tells YouTube that people actually are enjoying what they're watching, and then it puts it in front of more people, which gains the channel more traction. So when I ask you guys to hit that, it's for a reason. So if you do want to support what I'm doing here, that's why every YouTuber bugs you about that, because it really does make a difference. So I appreciate it. But yeah, I do enjoy these live streams a lot. I enjoy talking to you guys a lot. And for every person on here that says that they are having a good time too, that means the world to me, because I never thought that people would be entertained by listening to me talk. So I'm glad you guys are having a good time. I'm definitely having a good time. So on to amp number 3. I see those likes going up, so thank you guys very much. I really appreciate it. All right. Amp number 3. Once again, you guys are probably like, bro, don't you already have one of these? Yes, I do. But mine has the C137 mod to the blue channel, which basically makes the blue channel on the EL34 fall in line much more with the other the other 50 watt EVH amps. So this one I actually bought at the Terror Show. You guys will see the transaction because I made a vlog of playing this weekend, and this was part of it where I picked up this amp. But this one is stock, so I'm going to compare the stock blue channel on this amp to the C137 mod on my blue channel of my EL34 50 watt. That way you guys can see how much of a substantial difference it makes, because it really does make a massive difference. So yeah, that's really all there is to say about this. I haven't done a dedicated demo with this amp either, so when I have one that's stock, I want to do that. I really do want to make sure that when I demo an amplifier, it's going to be the stock version that you guys are going to buy, either new or on the used market. That way I'm giving you the most accurate example of the amp itself. So yeah, so now I've got 2 of these, but you know, once I'm done with this one, it's going to be for sale. So if anybody's looking for one, probably put it up for like $900 because that seems to be about the going rate. All the ones I see on Guitar Center's website are $1,000, which I think is overpriced. But yeah, it is what it is. So this will be for sale in a couple weeks, $900. But we're gonna check out that stock blue channel, do a full demo of this amp because I have not done one yet, and then we will move it along to its next owner. So that is amp number 3. Ugh. I think you guys are going to be really excited about this next one. Anybody want to take a guess as to what amp this one is? I'll wait a couple seconds because I know that there's a lag. Travis, maybe. We'll see. I thought about doing just a 3-way video demonstration of all the stock 50 watts because I have all 3. I have a KHE amp switcher, so I think that that would be a worthwhile video to make because I know a lot of people are always trying to figure out what the difference between the 3 is. But yeah, tell me which amp that you think this orange is. It's 337 already, so going a little long on the live stream here. Sorry, I got to send some texts here. I got some plans that I got to, rearrange just a tad. All right. So, definitely a Line 6 Spider 3. You got it. Night Train. No, guys, look at the... Come on. All right. A couple of you guys got it. Some of you guys are being idiots. I mean, it's the internet, so no surprise there. We'll go ahead, open this bad boy up. I'm really excited about this one. I know you guys are really excited because many of you have asked me to demo this one. I just happened to find a really good deal on Guitar Center's website. So, boom. Yeah, a bunch of you guys got it right. I am super excited about this because everybody basically is telling me that this is the OR15 with a couple of modifications to brighten it up a little bit and tighten it up a little bit. And that's exactly what I would have done to the OR15. So hoping that this thing sounds awesome. I'm going to make some Kemper profiles with this, but I'm going to do things a little bit differently. I'm going to take the effects send, so take the preamp of this amp, and I'm going to send it into some 100-watt monsters like my Omega, like my KSR modified dual rectifier, and probably like a 100-watt EVH Stealth. And I'm gonna send the preamp of this into those 3 massive power amps, and we're gonna make some Kemper profiles of this awesome preamp, but in a 100-watt big body, big tube form factor, and we're really gonna make this thing sound awesome. And then I'm also going to do a dedicated video demo of this one. But yeah, you said. All right, somebody said that they had this for a little while. He said, it was okay. Well, if it's anything like the OR15, I think that I am really going to like it. And people are basically saying that it is the OR15 with a couple of modifications. So hopefully those push it in a direction that I like. I thought the OR15 was awesome on its own. But yeah, Jim Root Orange number 4. And we are going to make some really cool Kemper and Quad Cortex captures with this amp. Not only by itself, but going into some really awesome power amps. So I think that'll be a lot of fun. And yeah, I may just keep it around. I bought it with the intent to sell it, but we'll see. We'll see how much I like it because I really like the OR15, but I sold that one. So yeah, that's all I have as far as physical amps here, guys. Give me 1 second. I'm going to run upstairs and see if UPS dropped the other 2 off because I had 2 that were supposed to be delivered today. If I did, we'll unbox those together. So real quick, I'll be right back. All right, guys, so no luck. UPS dropping the ball on me right now, unfortunately. Somebody says Brent Hines is a massive jerk. All right, that's a bummer, but you know, this is the gym root terror, so we don't have to worry about Brent Hines being a massive jerk. There is a Brent Hines terror on Guitar Center's website, but it's $600 plus shipping and tax. I'm not willing to pay that much for it. Let me see. Let me go into my email here. Let me see if I can pull up. Nah, I don't think I'm logged in on my iPad because I never use this thing. So I'll show you what I got. This is one of the amps that was supposed to be delivered today. And after the OR15 demo, again, I basically went on a huge, like, orange hunting spree. I was able to find one. And of course, like, for some reason, Google apparently is just not going to work at the moment. Where is it? Does the amp that I bought not actually exist? Well, it was an orange 8100H. Orange 8100H. That's what it was. I can't find any pictures of that amp for some reason. It's almost like it doesn't exist. So, yeah, all I'm getting is the OR100. I bought an orange 8100. Let me see if I can find it on my phone real quick. But people are saying the OR15. I can get your Elite 80s. Joey, shoot me a message and let me know how much you're looking to get for them, because I would actually be interested in buying those off you. Let me look at my eBay profile, because I am like, I can't find any pictures of the amp that I bought. Which is odd. TH100, because I'm an idiot. That's why. I was thinking of the 30 watt. I bought an orange TH100 amplifier. So, if you guys can see it, I don't know if it'll focus in that close, but yeah, I went online, found one for $100 because it's got an issue. It won't switch to the clean channel, but we don't use a clean channel, so that didn't matter to me. Considering this amp sells for like $1,300 to $1,500 on the used market in good working condition, I was more than happy to buy it for $800 with a non-usable clean channel. And I'm sure if I take it to my man Mike Wagner at Wagner Amp Repair, he'll probably be able to, you know, get that issue sorted out for me on the cheap, and I'll have a really good deal on a TH100. So really looking forward to that. Somebody says, please be a rocker verb. I don't know if you guys can see, but right behind me, I've got a rocker verb 50 up here. So yeah, that is the first amp that was supposed to come today. Let's check, or let's get a picture of the second one. I just remembered I bought 2 more amps off Guitar Center during the week too that have not showed up yet. So I actually have 4 amps that I'm waiting to be delivered right now. Here is the other amp. Now, I had this one for a very brief amount of time, but I ended up selling it just because I was sitting on way too much gear and I had to liquidate some stuff. Because believe it or not, as many amps as I have, I don't have infinite cash either. So some of the stuff I buy on credit cards, and if I don't get to demo it by the time that credit card payment comes up, I have to get rid of it. So that's just what I do. Sometimes I take on a little bit too much and I don't get time with the stuff that I would like. But the Dietzel Einstein, while I had it, I really, really liked that amp, and I bought this one broken. I got it broken for $500 from a dude in Michigan. He shipped it to me. It's supposed to be here today. I'm going to take it to Mike Wagner again, have Mike repair it. Hopefully it only cost me a couple $100 to get repaired. And then I have a Dietzel Einstein for $700 to $800 when all is said and done. And we will put that on the channel. We'll get some Kemper profiles and some other stuff done with it. So that is the second amp that I got. Here's the third one, and I think a lot of you guys are going to be really excited about this one based off a couple of my recent live streams where I talked about doing a specific amp-based week. So my homie sold me this amp, literally brand new. That is the Angle Inferno, Marty Friedman signature, and this is the blackout version. So he gave me a great deal on it. It was an amp that I was not looking for whatsoever, but when he mentioned he was selling one, he said he would give me a great price. I just had to buy it, and I'm really excited to check that one out for sure. But yeah, the Angle Inferno Blackout is another one that will be coming to me. I purchased it from him. It is not shown, or I'm sorry, I gotta literally take a trip over to Ohio to get it sometime next week. But yeah, that'll be another amp that we'll have for Angle Week. And Angle is also supposed to be sending me an Iron Ball SE. So I actually have 8 different items to demo for Angle Week. So Angle Week might actually extend past 7 days. It might be an 8-day affair, but I think that's going to be a lot of fun, honestly. Here, let's see the next one. This is another amp that is supposed to be coming to me. I purchased it probably a week and a half ago, and Guitar Center literally shipped it out yesterday because they like to take their sweet time, I guess. All these pictures are terrible image quality, so I'm trying to find one with better image quality. And I'm starting to get... Well, this is a 50. I bought 100. But Black Star Series 1 100 EL34. Again, found a great deal on Guitar Center's website. A lot of you guys have been asking me about the Series 1 for quite some time. So I purchased one off Guitar Center's website for $550, I think, which is a pretty good deal on these things. So somebody says do the Landry. Dude, I would love to do a Landry amp if somebody wants to send it to me, but those are not cheap whatsoever. And I never see them used either. So yeah, Black Star Series 1 100 EL34. That'll be coming sometime next week. And then to complement our RD45H, I also bought one of these used off Guitar Center's website. This is the Randall Diavolo 100H. So it's the 100 watt 3-channel version of the 45H. It's got an additional gain channel, which is actually more compressed, more aggressive. I had this amp for quite a while, a few years ago, and I sold it. Again, I just don't like the Randall Diavolo stuff that much, but I just want to get it here on the channel, get some Kemper, get some Quad Cortex stuff. I'm trying to build up a cool library, not only of videos for you guys, but if you have Kempers, if you have Quad Cortex, you'll be able to experience the amps at least the way that I like them, the way that I dial them in, because I'm trying to make profiles of every amp that I demo from here on out. It's time consuming, but you know, it's something that I think would benefit a lot of you guys to have options of some cheap Kemper profiles, and people seem to really like the Kemper profiles that I make, which I find awesome. Especially I've sent them to some real deal people in, you know, audio production who have given me high marks. So that's awesome. It just, all it does for me though is it just, you know, reassures me that when I make profiles for you guys that they're going to be good. So Arthur Gonzalez, what's up, dude? Try to get your hands on a Marshall Mode 4 MF350. Dude, I've been trying. There were years when I saw those things go for like $250, $300 used, and now all of a sudden I can't find them anywhere. I cannot find them. It's really disappointing. I would love to get my hands on one, especially because I now have 2 full stacks, one of each of the Mode 4 cabs, the MF400 and the MF280. I have a full stack of each of those cabs. Would love to have a head to go with it, but they just seem really hard to come by these days for whatever reason. I just never see them, and when I do, people want like $700 or $800 for them, and I'm not willing to pay that. So Rebecca, no, I don't have a link to my profiles. If you guys follow me on Instagram, I'm actually going to be putting up tomorrow. I'm going to be putting up my Kemper stuff again in my Instagram and my Facebook story feeds. I'll have directions on how to purchase those because I actually don't have a store set up yet. I'm kind of doing everything direct while I get started, so you guys will just email me directly. Pay me the $15 for the profile packs, and then I will email them over to you. Right now I have the SLO30 profile pack. I've got the JVM 410HJS profile pack, the SLX 900 profile pack, and then I have a variety pack, which is $20, but until I make a store, the variety pack will continue to grow. So every time I update it, if you have purchased the variety pack from me, I will resend you the new link once I add more profiles to it. So for $20, you're going to get a profile pack that's going to grow over time. There's right now it's got 10 amps in it or something like that. We've got the EL34 Stealth 5150. We've got the Angle Savage 120 Mark II. We've got the 5150 Iconic. I've got some dual rectifier multi-watt. I've got some Mark III profiles on there. I just added the HJS. I've got my Soldano SLO 100 profiles on there. So basically, I'm going to add one or two from every profile pack that I do to give you guys kind of like a variety option so you can get a little bit of everything moving forward. So 15 bucks is such a good deal. Glad to hear it, man. Like I said, I want to keep my stuff affordable. I am not trying to make mounds of money on this. I just want to essentially be able to make a little bit more money to put back into the channel to get new amps to demo for you guys. As you can see, I buy them in bunches and it's not cheap. And the more that I can kind of keep and spend more time with here, as opposed to having to get them in, make a demo and turn them right around and send them back out the door, the better I can make my profiles. The better I can make my demos, because I'll be able to get to spend more time with the amps and get to learn them a little better. So there's methods to the madness. There's reasons why I'm trying to generate a little extra revenue, and it's not just to necessarily line my pockets. It's so I can have more time with these amps and get more amps in order to make more content for you guys, in order to make more profiles and stuff like that. So that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. Randall Diablo 212 sucked, even though it had V30s. It had an angle front and was a bitch to get a mic on. Okay. Sorry to hear that. I never really got one because they go for way too much. Like, I'm not paying $500 for a Chinese-made Randall 212 V30 cab. No thanks. MF350 up. Yeah, $699 is, yeah, I'm not paying that. I appreciate the heads up, man, but I'm not paying $699 for a Mode 4. Clark Marrier says, just joining now. I'm glad that you finally get to try a Peters amp a few weeks back. Yeah, man, and there's a bunch of Peters, different circuits, updated circuits that I would love to try too. So that is definitely not the last Peters amp you will see on here. I'm going to outline the pedals that I got for you guys real quick, and then I'm going to call it quits because I was only supposed to stream till 3:30, but got over 100 viewers on here. So thank you everybody for hanging out with me while I just basically have diarrhea from the mouth about gear. I love these live streams, and I'm glad that you guys are digging them too. Again, hit the like button. It greatly helps me out. I really appreciate all that you have, all you guys that have hit the like button. We're up to 79 likes, but we've got 100 viewers. So if we can get that up to 100, that would be great. Helps me out, like I said repeatedly. Hey dude, can we get the 6505 Plus versus 6534 Plus video soon? Yes, I would love to do that. Have I tried any of the Friedman Signature amps, Arthur? Yes, I had the JJ100, which I did not like at all, and I had the Butter Slacks, which I have a demo video of on my channel. I like the Butter Slacks a lot more. The Butter Slacks is supposed to be a slightly modified 3-channel version of the JJ100, but for whatever reason, I just bonded with that amp way more. So, yeah. Okay, so I missed some stuff. I apologize, guys. I did miss some stuff. Let's get these pedals up here. All right, so let's go over these pedals real quick, and then I'm gonna call it a day. I'm just about talked out here. I don't know if you guys have ever done a live stream, but I try to just kind of keep going when I'm on here and try to answer as many of the questions that I can without stopping. It drains your energy, man. I have a headache almost every time I'm done with these live streams, just because it's like focusing so hard on what I'm trying to say and making sure that I get to all your guys' messages and stuff. But it's fun. It's fun for me. So this is the Westminster Olstein, and this is a distortion pedal. Sorry, I forgot I got to block my face. Yeah. Westminster Olstein distortion pedal. So this is, I guess, number one, the graphics on here are hilarious. I love that. And it's green because money and Joel Olstein. No shame there for sure. But this is supposed to be kind of like a cousin to the 2716 Overdrive that I demoed not long ago. You guys seem to be really into the sounds that I was getting from that. I'm sorry, preamp, not overdrive. This will get its own dedicated demo. I completely forgot to message Cody and tell him thank you for this pedal, by the way. He sent it to me without me even asking for it earlier this week and didn't ask me to do anything with it. So thank you, Cody at Westminster. But anyways, yeah, if you guys like the 2716, from what Cody says, you'll probably like this one too. And this one will be a little bit better with an overdrive out front because it's a little bit fatter. So I think this one's going to be a lot of fun. We'll be doing a video of that one. And then the next thing, yeah, man, trust me. So when I started this whole YouTube thing, I was like, dude, nobody is going to connect with me, which is why my first few videos were of just the amp and me playing, even though my playing was bad and I was nervous about my playing too. I didn't want to be on camera because I am just a socially awkward dude and I've never felt like an interesting person before. So for a long time, I just had no interest in being on camera. But a lot of you guys seem to enjoy the way that I do things and my jokes and my humor and stuff like that. So honestly, it just makes it easier to come on camera when you guys are telling me that you like what I'm doing. So I appreciate that very much. That's all I'm trying to get at. Sounds like a weird way of giving myself a pat on the back. It's not. I'm just saying that if you guys hadn't been so supportive of me being on camera when I first started out, that I probably would have quit early on because I definitely felt like I was just going to, you know, crash and burn when I first started this stuff. So these three pedals are all from the same manufacturer. I am not going to lie. I don't know what any of them do yet because I have not looked into them. And I don't even know how to pronounce this. I apologize. My homie Daniel at Lichtlerm, it's German, audio, sent me three pedals. And he basically said, hey, I like your videos. I know your style. And I'm just going to send you three pedals that I think that you're going to like. And you can do with them as you please. So this is number one. This is the Amber Spyglass. If you guys are familiar with these, tell me what they do, because I haven't looked them up yet. I haven't had a chance. So there's one. What do we have? Number two. All right. Charles, I am quite literally drowning in guitar amps. You are not wrong. It's not a bad problem to have, so I'll put it that way. Number two is the Aquaria. And by the way, these graphics look awesome. I know that Daniel actually had this company open when I first started my YouTube channel, but he closed it down and he joined another company. Things didn't go so well with that company, so he branched back out and he redid all of his original releases. The original graphics were like white. These are like almost like a metallic gold, and they look awesome. These pedals look incredible. They feel super high quality, like they feel solid. All of them have a lot of controls, so we'll see. We'll see how that goes. You guys know I like my simplicity, but yeah, I enjoy simplicity when it comes to things. Sometimes option paralysis or just too many controls can get to me, but once I understand how all this stuff works, it might help a little bit. So there's number two, and then number three. Trying to catch some comments in here. What am I missing? Live stream rules. Thank you very much, RJ. I appreciate you, man. Flux, love the live streams. Love seeing and hearing about the new amps too. Yeah, see, that's the thing, is I just got to make sure that when I do live streams, I just have something interesting to show you guys is all, because if I just go live with nothing to say, that makes for not a very fun live stream. So this one, I'm not even gonna try to pronounce that. When I look at it, the first thing I think is Ass Hatter, but it's Asa. I don't know, man. I am not a man of culture. So if you guys can pronounce that for me, again, German manufacturer, and Daniel, I'm sorry. I'll shoot you a message and you can give me an instructional on how to pronounce the names of these pedals. But I mean, the graphics are incredible. They look like a lot of fun. I'm guessing that they are distortion or overdrive style pedals because Daniel knows what I like and he sent me stuff based on the things that I like. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to diving into these pedals. Once I get some time with them, I'll decide whether we want to bunch them all into one video or if we want to do individual videos with them, but I'm very much looking forward to these. Yeah, so what am I missing? Uh, oh, nice. Oh, okay. Burn Back Time won that Rev G2 from the live stream the other night. Congratulations, dude. That's awesome. I saw that Rev was doing that giveaway, and Rev is one of the companies that really knows how to market. There's a reason why they have become such a well-known name in the guitar industry recently, and that's because their marketing is on point. Their connection with their community is on point, and I think a lot of smaller companies could learn from the way that Rev has done things from the start. So, just talking about their marketing, like I said, if you want to see how to run a company from a marketing and community standpoint, take a look at Rev, because they're doing everything right. Yeah. Resington, what's up? Resington, Andrew says, hey, make sure you go follow his channel. He does lots of awesome videos. I actually just watched your video on the ML Drums plugin, which I'll be doing one on that soon, but you should definitely check out Resington's channel, guys. He does lots of awesome high gain plugins and recording related stuff. He does a great job, and I really like his content. So you're gonna do a live stream and just sit there, have fun with that, bro. Rivera, yeah, I'm looking at Rivera amps. I would love to get some Rivera stuff on the channel, especially a K-Tray, a Knucklehead K-Tray, or the Knucklehead 7, but very expensive, very hard to find on a used market. So again, right time, right place. But am I selling the OR15? No, I'm not, because it's already sold. So I mean, technically, I'm no longer selling it. I guess that was kind of a smart ass way to say I already sold the amp. So I apologize, dude. And yeah, that's about it for me, guys. I think okay, so my girlfriend is now not coming home from work. She's going out before I go on my ride with my buddy. So if there are any other questions that you guys have, let me know. I'll hang out on the chat for a few more minutes because I got a few more extra minutes here. Love to answer you guys' questions. Dan Brockman says, what interface and software am I using? I am using, God, dude, I have so much crap. I am the worst version of, I guess, the modern American consumer, where I just have so much stuff, and it's something that I really kind of want to do differently moving forward, but that's besides the point. So right now I'm using just a Focusrite Scarlett 2i2. The main interface that I've been using to record my videos for quite a while is the 3rd gen 18i20. Great interface, but I think I'm going to be moving that out of the way because I have a PreSonus 18i10 or 1810C? 1810C, that's what it is. That's just a little smaller and a little cleaner for my area over here. And I've got a few other like 8-channel interfaces and expansions and stuff. Whenever I find good deals on stuff, I pick it up, and if I use it, I use it, and if I can make a couple bucks and turn it around and put that money into something else, I do that. So of course, dude, always happy to shout you out, Resington. How about an end of the year amp shootout, the best amp of the year? I actually am going to do my top 5 favorite amps at the end of this year and have that be a yearly video, much like I did the top 5 overdrives, or my top 5 overdrives. If you guys haven't seen that video yet, I have a video just basically explaining what my 5 favorite overdrives in 2022 are, and I would like to update that every year, and I'm going to do the same thing with amps moving forward. So yeah, you'll see that soon. Greg says, thanks. Love the videos. Keep up the awesome work. Thank you, Greg. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you being here. Would ever be willing to do a video about how I pack and ship amps? Absolutely, yeah. Would be happy to do that because I know that a lot of people are really nervous about shipping amps, and I pack and ship a few amps every week, so I would be fine with doing that. Stuff gets expensive quickly, Joey. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Christian asks, have I ever played a Larry amp? I have not, unfortunately. Again, that's an amp that I just never see come up, and when they do, they're outrageously expensive. So even though I have a lot of higher priced gear, if you see it in my room, it's because I found a good deal on it. And finding a good deal on like a Larry amp or a Wizard, or Landry. Like, those are all hard amps to find good deals on because they just don't come up very often. So, Flux says, Kyle, are you in the market to buy and try the Randall KH103 amp? It's got 9 preamp tubes. Wow. No, because I don't like Randall stuff. I had one here for a while, and I turned it on to make sure that it worked, and then I sold it to a buddy of mine. It was an amp that I definitely wanted to do a demo of, but I just, again, never got around to doing it, never had the time. So the 667, the KH103, the Thrasher 120 are all amps that I would love to get on the channel just because I know that people are interested in them. Arthur Gonzalez says, am I a guitar junkie? Yeah, so I know that I talk a lot about amps, guys, but I don't know if you're going to be able to see this. I also love guitars and have a lot of guitars. So I don't know how well you guys can see that, but that whole corner is just packed full of guitars. In fact, I got a new one the other night, and I got a Gallagher that I don't think I've actually showed the channel yet. So give me just a second. We'll grab those. All right, guys. So, boom. I got another Dunnable D2 RE. Is that it? R2DE. I got it backwards again, but the silver burst, dude. Look how awesome that looks. I got this locally yesterday in a trade. Traded a Marshall JCM 900 for this guitar. It's in like perfect condition. I just restrung it and couldn't find my clippers, so that's why we got this going on. But yeah, now when I finally get around to doing the video for my black DE, R2DE, we can feature the silver burst too. So we'll have both of them in the video because why not? These Dunnable import guitars are absolutely fantastic for $12.50, I think, new. I would say all day grab one of these if you're into the body shapes or you're into the features. Both of them that I have owned now, this guitar is fantastic and I was really enjoying playing it after I strung it up this morning. And my black R2DE, you guys know that I love that one. So yeah, was really happy to get this in a trade yesterday because I love these things. All right, and here is the other guitar. So I got this a while back. This is the Gallagher Diablo Standard Series. So this is one of their kind of production dealer guitars. They make a bunch of these in a run, and then they send them out to all their dealers, much like my Espada that I have, that black Espada that you guys always comment on. This is another one of those. So this one actually comes with Grover locking tuners, which is awesome. It's got a 3-piece roasted maple neck. On the front, we've got an ebony fretboard, and we've got stainless steel frets. This is an awesome guitar for the money, guys. These things come in at $1,000 from the dealer, and I mean, I would much rather have this than something like a Schecter or something, even like an Ibanez in the Super Strat form. I just think that the value for the money, everything that you get with these guitars is just better. And I have had a really, really good experience with Gallagher guitars so far. They are 4 for 4 and excellent fit and finish and playability right out of the box. So I purchased this with my own money. This is not given to me like the Typhons that I have. Joe gave those to me as a gift, and I appreciate it. And those are like my #1 guitars now because they are awesome. But this one I purchased with my own money, and it was because I wanted it for myself. And we'll make a video on that. I actually already made one, but I kind of was reviewing the footage recently, and I wasn't happy with how it came out, so I want to reshoot that. But yeah, awesome guitars. Yeah, I'm about talked out here at the moment, but Arthur, you have 24 guitars and always need more. Yeah, dude, trust me, I get that. Michael, thanks, man. Thanks for hanging out. Again, if you guys hit the like button on the way out, we're about to wrap this thing up. I appreciate you guys hanging out. Definitely did not expect to be this long, but I'm happy that you guys are here having a good time, and thank you for the kind words on the live stream. Really, really enjoy hanging out with you guys. But Arthur Gonzalez says, what kind of necks do I like? Man, I feel like it changes daily because I'm not picky. I'm really not. Like, every time I pick up my Gibson 58 reissue, that thing has a baseball bat neck on it. It's got a super fat neck, and I love it. Like, when I pick up that guitar, I'm like, oh, I love fat necks. And then when I pick up something that has a thin neck, like my, the Silverburst Balaguer Typhon that I play. That's got their thin neck profile on it. I love that thing. So I don't know, man. I really can't tell you. All I can tell you is that I'm not picky, and mainly it comes down to the individual guitar for me. Usually I can pick up a guitar and tell right away whether I'm going to like it or not. So that's typically how things go, and I don't really pay much attention to the neck shape. As long as it feels good in my hand, that's what she said. That's all that matters to me. So all right, Andy's working on pedal boards. Used MLC on reverb. Oh shoot, we got to check that out. It's probably more than I want to spend right now after I just bought 10 new amps, but we got to check that. So, don't mind if I do. MLC. Let's see. Let's MLC what it is. Did you guys like that? It was terrible, right? That was terrible. Shoot. Which model is it, dude? I'm not seeing any MLC on reverb, but I'm probably not searching for the right thing. Sub-Zero, maybe? MLC Sub-Zero 100? 1880. Is this for real? Oh, it's in Poland. So it's probably got European voltage on it. Bummer. Bummer. Can't exchange for a Kemper profiler head. Dang. All right. Well, if it was in the US and it was, $2,000 after shipping, I would have bought that all day long. But it's got European voltage because it's from Poland. At least I would imagine that it does. Let's see if we can see it from the pictures. I actually don't think he has a solid picture of the back. Nope, no pictures of the back. Oh, wait, here's one. Oh, what am I doing? What am I doing? Scrolled right past it. All right. Nah, I can't tell the voltage from the back. If it was US voltage, I would have bought it, but oh well. Oh, do they have international voltage? I didn't realize they'd been around since 2012. Wow. Somebody said, was it cool meeting Ray? I didn't get to meet Ray. I met Fluff. Met Fluff a couple weeks ago, and that was cool. That was fun. He was a super nice guy. Hung out with him backstage while Dragged Under was in Cleveland, and then hung out with him a little bit after the show, so that was super cool. He actually hooked me up with Tony, his agent, so now I have an agent for my YouTube videos, which is kind of crazy to say, because I have like 15,000 subscribers, so... I could get a step-down transformer, guys, but I don't want to mess with that. I know it sounds petty, but when I've already got to move around so many amps just to get to the stuff that I want, the last thing I want to do is have to break out a step-down transformer as well on top of everything else that I'm doing. So, okay, so MLC's been around for like 20 years. Pete Dog, if you could, shoot me a message or something, or drop a comment on this live stream video or something. Let me know for sure if those have international voltage, because if they do, I might actually purchase that from Poland if it's got a 120 volt switch on it, because that's a killer price. That's like $2,100 after shipping. That's insane. Those are like $4,000 new or something like that. So yeah, let me know. But I will be meeting Ray soon, Jeff. Sorry. I will be meeting Ray soon. About a month from now, my band is playing with him in Pittsburgh. He actually reached out to me directly and asked me if one of my bands wanted to play. So hopefully we'll get some content out of that. I think that's the plan, to maybe do a video together or something. But what's an agent for YouTube? What does he do? Basically, he gets contacted by certain brands to do, reviews of video or of guitar equipment, and he works out a deal where I get paid a certain amount to check out whatever it is. Don't worry, it won't be amp stuff, because amp stuff is kind of just my own thing. But if certain brands want me to do a demo of something, like I'm doing a demo of that smart carbon fiber guitar that Aggiefish did recently, he basically is the one who organizes the payment and the stipulations and everything. And if it's not reviewing a specific piece of equipment, then he just gets me like ad sponsorships from like DistroKid and stuff like that to put in my other videos, just to help me earn a little bit of money for the channel. So that's what that does. Is the 5153 Stealth worth the extra cash? It depends. The 50 watt, I don't think so. I think the 50 watt is cool, but it's not really anything crazy. when you move to the 100 watt versus the regular, the 100 watt not only has modifications that, in my opinion, make it sound better, but it's also got the resonance pots on the back, which are a huge thing that are missing from the regular 100 watt EVH 6L6. So in the 100 watt, I would say yes. But yeah. Okay. Just, hey, Pete Dog, if you can, just confirm that it has international voltage. That's all I need to know. Okay, cool. Yeah. All right, cool. Perfect. All right, I'm going to message that dude then. Thank you very, very much for the heads up. I'm going to do that now. And yeah, GH100L, dude. I will definitely be doing a demo of that one before I let it go. So you guys will see the GH100L. But I'm going to go get ready. I have to pack and send an amp out to somebody. And I got to get all my mountain biking gear ready to go. Check out a new trail. I talked to my Discord guys, which if you guys want to join my Discord, I'm going to have a link to it in this video. The Discord is growing like crazy, which is awesome. We have a really active community in the Discord server, but I talked about almost doing like a Sunday with Ola type video. So I know in my last live stream, I mentioned that the FAQs and the viewers' comments are going away for a little while because it seems like the interest on those had died down. Thinking about wrapping viewers' comments, FAQ, and almost like an adventures, like little vlog type thing into a single video that I put out every 2 weeks where it has multiple different segments of me kind of just answering your guys' questions, addressing some comments, and then showing you a little bit behind the scenes, maybe even doing like a guitar, like featuring a certain guitar or featuring a certain amp that I just kind of, or even a whole rig that I set up just for that video, play around for a couple of minutes and have some fun. And doing a video like that like once every 2 weeks. So you guys let me know how you feel about that, because that's an idea that actually got me excited. I thought that would be a lot of fun, but again, it doesn't mean really anything to me if it doesn't seem like something that you guys would have fun with. So you guys let me know. I have a GoPro. I'm actually going to throw the GoPro on for this mountain bike ride, so I could throw that in as like the first, I don't want to call it adventure portion, because essentially I am basically just ripping off Ola's Sunday with Ola idea. So credit to him. I think it was really cool that he did a video like that where he lets people in on his life behind the scenes of his YouTube stuff. And I thought that something similar for this channel would be kind of fun. But you guys let me know. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to head out of here. Hit that like button on the way out, guys. I really appreciate you hanging out. And I hope everybody has a great weekend. I'm going to have a new video coming out Sunday morning, so keep your eyes peeled for that. And until then, we'll talk to you guys soon. Take care.